As we grow up, we learn what is right and wrong, the rewards and the consequences, who our friends are and who we hang out with. Later on in life, we find the person we trust the most, and we see that person as a leader in our eyes. But how do we know if he's really a good or bad leader? How do you know what's really right or wrong if we're in a group that only thinks that the leader is right and never wrong? Have your friends ever pressured you into a life that you never wanted? Well, today I want to share with you the concept of groupthink, how it affected my life, and why I believe it is dangerous. In a Khan Academy lesson narrated by Jeffrey Walsh, a physician and psychiatrist at Kaiser Permanente, Walsh says we use social situations, especially ones with peers, to question standards and authorities, to determine what's acceptable, and to give feedback on behaviors. He then stresses the importance of having positivity in your group, because it drives you and your peers to be positive. It creates that feeling of contentment. But when the group's behavior is negative, the results can be very destructive and dangerous. See, when an individual like me is unsure of some kind of situation, I'm going to tend to look to my group for guidance. And I'm going to believe their opinion because I believe it is true. Groupthink is like trying to fit into a one-of-a-kind sweater that's too small, and it's brand name. So it's like Supreme, for example, right? And in the back of your mind, you realize, I'm really only impressing my friends, and not really anybody else. But I'm not going to get a new sweater because I'm not going to be able to fit in without it. Some of us see things a little bit better when we put things side by side. And so when we visually see groupthink, we can see something interesting happening. Take a look at these slides over here. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this meme before. If you haven't, let me explain what's going on. These guys are obviously being affected by groupthink because they all have the same outfit, and none of them really stand out from one another. These group of students all have MacBooks, right? They're all being affected by groupthink because, say, if somebody had a Chromebook, they'd stand out like that, and nobody wants to stand out or stop to stand out like that when you're in groupthink. And this next slide is obviously taking it too far, but the point is, when we put all three of these slides together, we see something interesting. We see that there's this sameness going on with all the groups. And that sameness is what's dangerous, because that sameness limits your individuality. You're no longer thinking individually, but rather collectively as a group. My first experience with groupthink happened a couple years ago, when I, and along with a couple other friends, picked up a new skill. We learned how to play guitar and mainly focused on learning some old blues music. The first time I went to go buy an electric guitar, I noticed something interesting. I noticed that there's another man across from me who's playing some Spanish classical music. And if you've ever heard Spanish classical music before, you know how beautiful it sounds. And so me, being a beginner, I felt very compelled to learn that instead of blues. But I knew my group of friends would have been into the idea, so I didn't tell them. I couldn't bear the feeling of being rejected, so I opted to stick with my group and stay uncomfortable with not being able to express myself. Eventually, I started to realize what I could do instead. And I wasn't playing blues with my friends. I was playing Spanish music. And that's when I realized that groupthink had an effect on me, because I realized I want to do this instead of that. And so I broke away from that. Broke away from that groupthink that my friends had on me. And so I started to play my own thing, Spanish music, and I got pretty good at it. Now, my next experience with groupthink is very personal. And this affected my life greatly, and it effectively changed it. When I was growing up in middle school and elementary school, my group of friends were all Hispanic, just like me. So that connection was already there. The families of the group of friends that I hung out with all had parents and grandparents that had emigrated from Mexico, came to California to provide a better life for their children. In middle school, my teachers stressed the importance of graduating college, or graduating high school first, and then moving on to college. But to my group of friends and I, this was a fantasy. I thought, why do I have to go to college if none of my group wants to go? That's what I believed. That's what I was surrounded with. There's nothing else to believe. So when it was time to apply for my freshman classes in 8th grade, I chose the least rigorous classes because why take hard classes if I'm not going to college? But was I right? No, I wasn't. Because I actually did want to go to college. In the back of my mind, I knew what I wanted to do. But because my friends had an effect on me, because I was in groupthink, I couldn't let that out. I was too afraid to let it out. And eventually, again, I realized, no, I can't do this. And so, I chose to break away from groupthink. I chose to break away from groupthink. I chose to get out of my comfort zone, and I took a huge risk. And I didn't do this until my sophomore year in high school, because that's when I realized what was going on. And I realized if you want to be somebody, you have to wake up. And you actually got to do something. Because it's not going to be handed down to you. Nonetheless, I still entered into a new environment where the people I was surrounded with were just as committed to achieving their goals as I was. And I started hanging out with all the smart kids that, that my group of friends and I used to always make fun of. And you can imagine how that was. I moved on from the group that would say, I can't wait to drop out of high school, to the guys that would say, did you understand the calculus lesson? And it was hard. It was super hard. A lot of things started happening, all these things started to come together that nobody warned me about before. Like class rank, SAT scores, FAFSA, scholarships. I'm like, I don't even know what an SAT is. Seriously. And it just happened out of nowhere. And so, time out really quick. I want to make this clear. I didn't just leave my friends behind. Okay, although I broke away from groupthink, that doesn't mean that I just let my friends aside. They're my friends for my whole life. I didn't just throw them aside. So back on my sophomore year, I took my first advanced class ever. It was an Algebra 2 class, Algebra 2A. And your boy Andrew is never really good at math. So I don't know how, but somebody just convinced me to take it. And so I did. And I went in thinking I was going to fail. And sure enough, I passed. I got a B+. And I was very proud of that B+, especially because there's some other kids in there that were taking advanced classes before and they didn't pass. So that was pretty cool. And if it wasn't for the friends, if it wasn't for the environment that I was in, the people I was surrounded with that motivated me and encouraged me to keep going, to persist, I wouldn't have passed, surely. And I didn't know what I was capable of until I took that class. That's the thing. I never knew what I was capable of until I actually went out and did it. So now, it was time to apply for my classes for my junior year. And I take even harder classes. I signed up to take 2 honors and 2 AP classes. And I was like, Andrew, what are you doing? I didn't know what to expect. But surely enough, I passed all of them. I finished that year, my junior year, at the top of my class. I finished with a 4.33 GPA. I passed both my AP tests, and I finally succeeded. And that to me was incredible. I couldn't believe it. And there was a lot of times where I felt like giving up, but I didn't. I kept going because I knew there was a reward after. I didn't want to go back to my old ways and do nothing about my future. I don't want to go back and just sit home and play video games all day, not caring about homework or anything. I wanted to win, baby, because that's the way you got to think about it. Right? It's because it's all mental. It's all your decision. Everybody in this room, we all are capable of something. We are all doers. Me and you, we can all do something. The difference is we have to believe in each other. We have to believe in ourselves. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then what can you accomplish? And this all started with breaking away from groupthink. If I hadn't made that decision, I don't know where I'd be today. I know I definitely wouldn't be on this stage talking right now. And we all have to keep on working because like I said, there's a reward after. And that reward for me is going to college this fall. We all experience groupthink one way or another. To break away from role mentality, we must avoid groupthink. We have to recognize the problem before it gets worse. And eventually, when we realize I do have to change, it could be too late. So I say to you all, break away from groupthink. Help your friends break away from their old mentalities just as I have. I made the decision to change my life 2 years ago. What will you do?